Michelle, thank you, sir. And now to our big news of the day. From the air and on the ground, the push to defeat ISIS is intensifying.
This as the hunt for those responsible for Friday's massacre in Paris continues. Diane Gallagher is in Paris with an update.
The fight against ISIS has included many countries for some time, but after Friday's deadly attacks in Paris, that fight is intensified. French warplanes delivered a third day of airstrikes in the militant group's stronghold, Raqqa, Syria. Now, Russian jets have also pounded ISIS targets there. France has appealed to Russia and the United States to join forces with their coalitions to fight ISIS. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Paris, meeting with President Francois Hollande. Kerry says that attacks like in Paris cannot be tolerated.
No, this is not normal. It will not be normal. It will not become normal. This is an aberration.
Meanwhile, in the hunt for those behind Friday's bloody rampage through Paris, French authorities carried out 128 new raids. To help them carry it out, 115,000 law enforcement officials have been mobilized across the country. And they're looking for this man, believed to be the 8th attacker in Friday's rampage. He's Salah Abdeslam, a 26-year-old French citizen. French investigators are uncovering new links between the men who carried out Friday night's deadly attack in Paris and ISIS leaders in Syria. They believe this man, Abdelhamid Aoud, is the mastermind of the attack. He's a Belgian citizen with direct ties to ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. A source tells CNN prior to the Paris attack, the anti-ISIS coalition tried to target Abu Aoud, but failed.
And France's president will travel to Washington and Moscow later this month to discuss ways of increasing international cooperation to basically smash the Islamic State group and to settle the crisis that's still happening in Syria today.
About time.
Yes. All right, between his prominent film and television roles and his very public meltdowns, Charlie Sheen is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. I don't think you can argue that.
Not at all, but he was back on the national stage today. He appeared on the Today Show this morning to make a major announcement about his health. Jeremy Roth has more.
That I am, in fact, HIV positive.
Charlie Sheen opened up to Matt Lauer on the Today Show Tuesday, announcing he was diagnosed with HIV about 4 years ago.
It's a hard 3 letters to absorb.
The diagnosis apparently came after suffering a series of migraines and hospitalization.
I thought I had brain tumor. I thought it was over.
Sheen says he decided to make the announcement because he was being extorted to the tune of more than $1 million by people he had trusted with the secret.
They were deep in my inner circle, and I thought that they could be helpful, and instead they, as I wrote, my trust turned to their treason.
With the announcement, Sheen hopes to help destigmatize the virus.
I have a responsibility now to better myself and to help a lot of other people.
I'm Jeremy Roth reporting.
It's a lot of interesting feedback when you look at a lot of the comments that are being put on social media about Charlie Sheen and his life choices and the way he came about in announcing all of this.
Plenty of people are supportive that he came clean and he finally did this. And I guess for him, it's been a weight lifted, perhaps.
Well, hopefully he's at peace now.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, joining us now is Noelle Bello, our weekend anchor and
Hi.
reporter here at News 3. And you're here to talk about a big story that you're looking into tonight.
Yeah, I am. You know, there are several homeowners across Grimes County, actually, who have contacted me over the past couple of months just talking about the condition of their dirt roads that they live on. The roads are owned by it's a privately owned roads by a man named Daryl Hall and his company. And the homeowners say that the roads are not getting the attention that they need. There's lots of dips and you know, the water gets...
A day like today, I'm sure, is terrible for these roads.
Exactly. I can't even imagine driving down their roads today. I actually drove down some of these roads over the past couple of weeks, and
You say these things are terrible. Yeah,
it's
these are
tough.
terrible
I
roads.
mean, there's some video there for you guys, and that's just 2 of the roads. He actually owns multiple subdivisions across Grimes in Madison County and whatnot, and I can't really imagine what these people are going through, but I did get to talk to a lot of them and just kind of hear their stories out and their cry for help.
So I think here's what's difficult, especially when you talk about an area like where we live in Texas. There are a lot of our viewers out there who depend on private roads.
Right.
Here in the city, we've got county and city maintained, but when you get out into these rural areas, look at that mess right there.
Yeah.
And when you've got these private roads, you depend on somebody to fix that, and that's what's not happening with these folks.
Exactly, and the county has their hands tied. I spoke with the county. They're not allowed on these private roads. If they go on them, that's a liability because they do not own them. A lot of the residents are hoping that one day the roads can maybe get up to those specs, the county specs, and maybe the county will take them over. However, fixing a road is not easy and not cheap.
Not cheap.
And so they're hoping that something like tonight, my story tonight, will maybe help them get their word out. And they're potentially going to, some of them are looking to start some homeowners associations, try and get some maybe grants from the state. I also went to Daryl Hall's company, and we'll hear from them tonight as well. So.
This is a good, I know it's an isolated issue, but I think a good lesson learned for anybody who lives out in a rural area that may have some roads. Looking forward to your story. Stick around because we want to get your input on this next story as well. More stores are deciding to stay closed on Thanksgiving this year.
What a trend. That reserves, we've been seeing it in recent years when stores were opening earlier and earlier for holiday shoppers. Now it's kind of going the other way.
Okay, so just a quick list here of some of the newer stores that are announcing they will not, and I stress that, they will not open on Thanksgiving. Staples, GameStop, Costco, Nordstrom, TG Maxx, Marshalls, Home Depot, Barnes & Noble, Pier 1, Joann Stores, Bed Bath & Beyond, Burlington Coat Factory, Petco. I don't know about you ladies. I love this.
I love this.
I do too. I've never been a Black Friday shopper. Never wanted to. And I feel like on the holidays you just want to.
You
stay
never
at
wanted to
home.
go and get any of the good deals or anything on Black Friday?
No,
Really?
I'm
You can
maybe
find them
more of an
online.
internet. Yep, I'm more of an internet shopper when it comes to that kind of stuff. And those are actually some big companies that I know people line up outside of the stores for.
Absolutely, not only huge retailers, but huge retailers on those Black Fridays.
Yeah.
And now to see, I'm glad they're pushing it back off of Thanksgiving. Just get off Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And it gives the employees time at home, and I think that's important.
All right. Thank you for your input, and we look
Yeah.
forward to seeing your story tonight
Thanks for
at
having
10
me.
here on News 3. Well, Bello, everyone. Still to come, we're going to talk about the remembrance ceremony, the bonfire remembrance ceremony happening overnight tonight on the A&M campus. We've got some students here in-house to talk about that, and we'll do that right after this.